Hello, everyone. I feel like I haven't been in New York in so long. I've been blessed, don't get me wrong, to travel so much over the spring, but it feels really good to be back in New York. And I'm really excited in this video to take you all to the Upper East Side. It is a gorgeous day outside. It's a little chilly, I will say, but gorgeous day. It's gonna be kind of a little bit of like a art history day in the sense that there's a really amazing show of Yves Klein works at LGD Gallery, which I'm very excited to see, as well as an Alexander Calder show at Gray Gallery. So some oldies, but some goodies. So very excited to get going on that. However, there's something that I want to jump into very quickly before we leave. I'm still getting ready, still clearly drinking my coffee, but have something very important to talk through with you guys. So I rarely work with brands, but when LilySilk reached out and said that they wanted me to kind of try out their spring summer 2024 collection, I was like, sign me up. I love LilySilk. I've been wearing their pieces for a long time. They really focus on cashmere and silk, and they're just really high quality, very classic pieces. And a fun fact about me, you might have noticed this if you've watched my videos for a while, but I've never directly admitted this. So I'm admitting this to you guys now. I enjoy thematically dressing, so not in like a weird way, but in a way where I'm still being authentic to my style. But when I'm going to a neighborhood like Lower East Side or Tribeca or Upper East Side, I like to dress to kind of reflect the ambiance of the gallery spaces that I'm going to. So whether that's kind of being more casual or being more elevated, I just enjoy doing that. It's fun for me. It's just what I like doing. So I thought Upper East Side Galleries, perfect match for LilySilk pieces. So I have 4 pieces overall, including the 2 that I'm wearing right now. And I am in a constrained space because I do live in New York City, even though I have this amazing Jenny Brosinski behind me here. So I will throw up some clips so you can actually see the full outfit. Also, sorry for the sirens going off in the background. It's the name of the game here. But yeah, these are a few outfit options that I have for today. I'm gonna run through the ones that I'm thinking and then decide on the final outfit for the day with you guys. So let's try this. So my first outfit option is very spring summer. This is such a like chic vacation outfit in my opinion. And I'm gonna pair it with tan accessories. I've got my Hermes Kelly 18 belt here that I love so much. I will say I've been wearing this around the house nonstop in this really, really casual way where I just keep the button down unbuttoned and just wear the trousers and wear sandals. But because I do want to be a little more elevated, I think I'm going to pair the tan belt with some tan sandals. And is that too much tan? And then a tan bag? I'll put it together. Maybe it's just some tan non-Hermes shoes and then see what that looks like. I think this is a great option. My only fear is that it's a little chilly outside. But I will say the nice thing about silk is that it's a natural fiber, so it really self-regulates with your body. And that's pretty critical for me. You guys know that I go to a lot of gallery shows in one go. I think, in fact, I'm going to see 8 shows ideally today if time permits. And so, no, 6 shows, that's a lie. Still a high amount. And I'm probably gonna walk 30 plus blocks, I think. So I need to be comfortable, but I want to look nice, and I need to kind of go with the ebbs and flow from a temperature perspective. And these are both the pants and the top 100% mulberry silk, so they will definitely do that. I also love that you can iron them, but I love to steam them and they're ready to go in like 30 seconds. Like I literally just steamed these pants in 30 seconds before I filmed this video. So yeah, super comfortable. This is a great contender. Might be a little too chilly for today, especially because I don't want to ruin the shirt by having to put a jacket on over the top of it. The other thing too that some of you have called out in my videos is that I don't try to match the art. Again, I'm not that crazy in terms of what my wardrobe is when I go look at galleries, but I do like solid color combinations that complement the art. So not that this would be bad by any means, but especially because I'm going to see the Yves Klein show, which is like the most incredible blue ever created. I think maybe I want to wear a solid color. Okay, so I have this other option. This skirt is definitely on the dressier side, but I love that you can dress it up or you can dress it down. Again, it's 100% mulberry silk. And I think I'm gonna wear this in a more edgy kind of way. I have an oversized black sweater from Co, who's an LA brand that I really love. And it almost kind of takes away the A-line shape of the skirt and gives it a little bit of a dropped waist effect. Just a little more modern looking, I feel like, but I can still pair it with my elevated accessories, like my black vintage Hermes Kelly, which I always love wearing when I go on the Upper East Side. So that's a good option. I do think I would wear this skirt with sandals though. I mean, I do think it would look nice with boots in the winter, but I don't think it's quite that cold outside. So we're in that really awkward sort of in between season right now. So while I do like this outfit, especially with the black and white color blocking, I think that'll look really beautiful next to all the artworks. I think the third option might be the best option, and that is these cream trousers, because they again are my favorite thing in the world right now. They're so comfortable and so elevated and so chic with this camel. It's a little bit of a darker camel, I will say, but it's a cashmere t-shirt. Again, cashmere might sound warm, and it is warm, but it also regulates the body temperature. So if it's cool, it'll keep me warm. If I get hot, it'll also help me cool down. So I do love that. And I love that if I do get hot, I can take a little jacket off. I think I want to color block and have this tan with this tan belt, the cream trousers, and then I think I'm just gonna wear a simple black jacket. This is one of my favorites from COS. If you saw my Mexico City videos, you will know that I wore this thing nonstop throughout that entire video because I love this jacket. In fact, I have it in another color. I love it so much. So yeah, I think this might be the outfit for today. It's a little bit understated, but still elevated. And I'm gonna try to wear heels with it. That's the other thing I love about these trousers is that they look really good with flats or with heels. They're like the perfect length. I'm 5'7" and I do have short legs, but yeah, sometimes it's hard to get that inseam like just right. So I think these trousers really do the job well on that. So I think this is the winning outfit. I think this is very Upper East Side, but not in a weird costumey way. And I think it's gonna look really nice with all the artworks and in the photographs. So cool. Glad we figured this out. And yes, I will see you guys on the Upper East Side. Our first stop is going to be LGD Gallery, like I mentioned before, to see two exhibits, starting with this one that brings together over 30 works by the famous French artist Yves Klein, who is said to be the forerunner of minimal art as well as pop art. You all probably know him from the iconic blue color that he developed and used throughout all of his works you see here. And this show brings together examples from each of his most famous series. Everything we've seen so far has been a part of Klein's anthropometry paintings, which were paintings created from using nude women as human paintbrushes and hosting this elaborate performance in front of an audience. When Yves talked about why he used nude models to create these works, he said he basically did it because he wanted to avoid being like the overly academic painters locked up in their studios, getting lost in the overly spiritual aspects of creating art, which would cause one to lose touch with reality. Klein was adamant that art should exude life. He started creating these works in 1958 in Paris and continued to do so through the early 1960s. And he experimented with using more than just people as means of creating a piece of art. I think the funniest one that I read about is that he would drive around in the rain at 70 miles an hour with a canvas tied to the roof of his car to record the imprint of the rain. I love how the gallery included so many pieces of information in the corridors about not just who he was as an artist, but who Klein was as a person to supplement the show. The final gallery shows works from his fire painting series that he created between 1961 and 1962, and these paintings are meant to, quote, embody creation born of destruction. So he created these works by taking a fire torch and exposing flames to compressed board or paper, leaving these scorched voids and atmospheres of smoke. An interesting and kind of sad fact that I didn't know, at least until I was researching Klein in more depth, is that he actually lived a very short life. He died at the age of 34. So it's pretty incredible if you think about the kind of impact he was able to have on the art world in such a short amount of time. We're now going to head upstairs to a separate exhibit that's only accessible via the elevator, very lovely elevator. And this is an exhibit of works by the German artist Günther Uecker, featuring 5 monumental paintings from a series that he started in 2020 called Lichtbogen, which translates to arc. The series was inspired by the blue sky, sea, and unique natural environment of the Persian Gulf's ancient Strait of Hormuz. The works are really meant to embody the, quote, ethereal quality of light and water. And I think this is captured really well in his use of materials as well as his color palette of blues and whites. He's actually using watercolor, which this is a very unique scale for watercolor. It's rare to see them on such large canvas works. These canvases are 300 by 200 centimeters. We're now at Petzel Gallery, our next stop, and this is an exhibit of works titled 90s Paintings, which, you guessed it, were paintings that Nicola Tyson created in the 1990s. These are significant because this was a formative time within her practice when she really found her voice as an artist. After Tyson graduated art school, she, quote, abandoned easel painting and created conceptual work instead, before finally realizing that this wasn't the direction that she was meant to go. She returned to figurative painting through an exhibit she hosted in this experimental project space that she co-founded and ran out of her Soho loft from 1991 to 1993, focusing on women and lesbian artists. All of the works that we see here feature an abstracted female figure, which is meant to represent her figure. She says, quote, I wanted to use the figure, my figure, a female figure, as a playground, to reclaim it, inhabit and investigate it, and re-articulate it from a position of active, creative sovereignty, as opposed to that of the passive muse and nude of art history and popular culture, where it had been routinely described and prescribed by male desire. I wanted to be and create a female protagonist.
Our next stop is David Zwirner Gallery, home to one of the most beautiful staircases on the Upper East Side, and there are a lot of beautiful staircases, many of which you have seen in this video. This is an exhibit of works created by the late Brazilian artist Amadeo Luciano Lorenzato over 3 decades of his career. And his work is also currently on view at the 60th Venice Biennale, which, don't worry, my goal is to make it this year, ideally around October before it closes, but I will keep you all posted. Lorenzato's paintings focus on capturing the subject matter around him in his hometown of Belo Horizonte. And my personal favorite thing about these works is the variety of textures Lorenzato achieved by creating this self-made pigment, applying brushes, and then enhancing the textures with combs and forks. And if you're thinking there's a flavor of Impressionism here, you'd be right. Apparently, Lorenzato kept on hand a worn copy of painter Giorgio Vasari's book, which was known to, quote, express admiration for painters such as Cezanne, Van Gogh, Monet, and Manet. And he also spent a period of time working and studying art in Italy, finally returning to Brazil in 1948. I just think his works are a beautiful fusion of European and Brazilian influence. We're going to take a quick coffee break at Ralph's. I've always wanted to try the coconut cake, and so I did this time. And let me tell you, you guys have to try the coconut cake. It is so good. Our next stop is Gray Gallery, and we just visited their space in Chicago, which is significantly larger. I will leave that video linked above and below if you want to check that out. But this is a small but mighty show of works by Alexander Calder, featuring some examples of his most signature sculptures created from the 1950s and 1960s. The largest sculpture in the show, Clouds Over Mountains, was created in 1962. And fun fact, an even larger version of the sculpture was actually constructed in a building in DC that is 75 feet tall, and it sits at the center atrium of the building. So this was done in 1986, long after Calder's death in 1976. And this exhibit also features 2 mobiles, or mobiles, however you prefer to pronounce it, that reflect the work that I think Calder is most famous for. They are Horizontal Red Moon Gong from 1957 and 2 Yellows from 1962. Our final stop of the day is going to be Skarstedt Gallery to see an exhibit of works by the American artist Eric Fischl, featuring a new series of works called Hotel Stories. I love how Fischl captures people, specifically groups of people. I feel like there's something very cinematic about his works. It kind of always feels like he's setting a scene, and these paintings specifically depict the varied relationships that one can have with a hotel room, ranging from fantasy to exile. In general, I feel like there's a lot of contrasting emotions associated with travel. It can be exciting, it can be lonely, it can be stressful. And there's something fascinating to me about this concept of the artificial home environment that a hotel has. I've always thought that hotels have a very challenging job of creating an environment that's pleasing to all, because that can often mean it's just generic and pleasing to none. And then there's no markings of an individual living there, most of the time at least. And this is where we're going to end the video. I hope you all enjoyed this little Upper East Side adventure, and I will see you all in my next video.